كن سعيدا كن فريدا عش بفخر في الحياة.
Assalamu alaikum everybody, welcome back to another video. We've heard about the smallest Bible and the tiniest Torah. What about the world's smallest Quran? Well, it's actually true, and one of these copies is actually found in Albania. That's where I come from. So the story goes like this. There is an Albanian man with his family called Mario Prusci, and they currently live in Albania's capital, Tirana. They originate from Đakovica, which is a city that borders Albania and Kosovo. So about 100 years ago, the great-grandparents of Mario were building a house in their land. As they were digging in, they found the body of an Albanian man who was buried there. Along with that, they also found that he was holding a copy of the Quran right in his heart, this tiny Quran. So what they did, obviously, they took that Quran, they kept it, and they preserved it. And in the 1930s, Mario's father, who was an army officer with the King Zogo regime, was becoming suspicious because the authorities at the time were really keen to stamp on anything religious, such as Islam, Christianity, Muslims, and Christians. It started all the way then. So Mario's father, realizing that the authority was coming in to check his house, hid it somewhere. The army came in, the officers came in, they ransacked his house, turned everything upside down in order to find the book, but they couldn't. So they walked away. In 2012, when Mario's father passed away, Mario then became the rightful keeper, owner of this world's smallest Quran. It's about 900 pages long. Usually a Quran has about 600 pages plus. So I presume it actually has almost all the verses, which is amazing. And basically it originates all the way from 19th century. So some of the experts in Badr University, which is an Islamic university in Tirana, Albania, they looked into this, they did a bit of analysis and research, and they found that it originates all the way back to the 19th century. So interesting to know how this is probably a miracle actually for the Mario family. This is how they approach this finding. So we're going to watch the video together, and we're going to hopefully pause it and make a few comments, because I really want to know your opinion, your thoughts, whether your country does have such world's smallest Quran, and let's just take a look.
سبحانك يا الله تعاليت يا رحمن أجرنا من النار.
Meet Mario Prusci, an Albanian-born man who carefully washes his hands and face before kissing and pressing one of the world's smallest Qur'ans to his forehead. This postage stamp-sized book has been passed down in his family for generations.
So let me just pause there for a minute. As you can see, Mario right now, what is he doing? He's basically washing his hands and face, which is fine, but we Muslims, we actually do an ablution, which is washing all parts of the body that are meant to qualify us to perform wudu in Arabic, ablution. And Mario is only washing his hands and face, which is fine, but like I said, it doesn't quite actually follow the sunnah, the tradition, the Islamic ruling, which is you have to perform ablution. And another thing that he's doing, he's actually kissing it and placing it in his forehead, which is doesn't quite have a finding in the Sharia, not been practiced in the past much in the Sahaba time. So again, for me, it's an innovation. It's not really something that should be followed, and on the contrary, it should be read out using a magnifying glass because it's so tiny. But unfortunately, Mario at this time, he is following, traditional local traditions, which is really contrary to the Islamic rulings.
Surviving wars, and Albania's former communist dictatorship. Scholars say it is one of the smallest Qur'ans on record, held inside a black and silver case. It's said to date from at least the 19th century and was discovered by Prusci's great-great-grandparents in the Đakovica region of Kosovo. They found it intact over the heart of a man buried there, which they took as a divine sign and embraced Islam. During the communist dictatorship of Enver Hoxha, who banned all forms of religion and imprisoned practicing believers, the book survived due to its small size.
Hangi oğlum çamında ortaya ruajtur bez pas brezi me shumë fanatizëm. Dhe për ne, për mua dhe familjen time, është një nga gjërat më të shtrejta. Kutia që bën Kurani, sigur është gjetur brenda, po bëhet, besoj është sermi, ka lupën e vet dhe kapaku i Kuranit është me filigrama edhe fletët e tij, besoj nga që janë prishur, do jenë me të punuar me fije ari floriri e kombinuar me letrën, me metal që nuk është dëmtuar as nga koha as nga gjërat.
Atëherë, ky Kur'an kaq i vogël për familjen tonë ka qenë dhe vazhdon të jetë gjëja më e shenjtë brenda shtëpisë për shumë arsye, sepse sa herë kemi diçka që nuk shkon, ose vajza është pa qef, ose ne jemi pa qef, ose një hap.
So, just picking up on the wife of Mario Pushi's partner, basically what she's saying is that whenever we have a problem at home, someone is sick, or things are not going right, we look into this Quran and we hold it and we touch it and we kiss it, which is obviously, again, another, going to the patterns of her husband, the misunderstanding between how should the Quran be kept at home, for what purpose, etc. So she's saying we keep it in order to prevent evil eye and protect us and that kind of thing, which is really not necessarily found, again, in the teachings of Islam. Sadly, that's the practice in their family, but again, it's one of those things really that you would find in an Albanian tradition, in a car, they keep the Quran there because they think it will protect them from accidents. Whenever they sleep, they put the Quran under the pillow because they think it will protect them at night. And it's obviously a wrong mentality, totally against Islamic teachings, as I mentioned, and we can only hope and pray that this practice changes, to be honest.
The family has received numerous offers to buy the book, including from museums, but the owner says it will always stay with the family.
So I'm happy that they've kept the Quran to themselves. They can actually promote it and put it into a mosque and allow others, Muslims, to come in and even tourists to come and have a look at it. But it's good that they have turned down offers from museum owners to buy such copy because it's very rare. But let's just to bring back the whole idea about this, especially the Holy Book of Quran. Basically, the Quran has to be learned and taught and understood and recited, not necessarily kept in a box. You kiss it, you touch your forehead, thinking that everything is going to go perfect. This is one thing. Next, basically, we just hope that although Mario's family, originally a Catholic, following the Catholicism faith, he has embraced Islam, which is really good news, alhamdulillah. But the next part they need to do, obviously, is to start reading a bigger copy of Quran so they can start learning Arabic, really understand it. And even if it's one line a day, a verse a day, so they can then practice it and put it into their daily life routine. And that's the main thing. That's what should be, this is an advice that should be given to all of us Muslims, including myself. Well, thank you for watching, guys. I'm really happy that I shared the story with you because, it's coming from Albania. And until my next video, thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum.
كن سعيدا كن فريدا عش بفخر في الحياة بالتحدي لا سواه